Several different factors play a role on how fast you get to the ball when it's up in the air. But when it comes to the actual aerial itself, in addition to doing a fast aerial, which we'll go over later, there is one main principle that you should be following when you aerial that will help you get to the ball as fast as possible. It's somehow both painfully obvious, but still frequently overlooked, or at least not employed in your gameplay as often as it should be. And it's just take a straight line to the ball and boost all the way there, in the majority of scenarios. It's very common to do an aerial where you boost at the start and you get up in the air, but then you stop boosting a little bit and kind of let the ball come to you. Doing an aerial like that, though, means you might end up with a 50 in the air, or even just losing and not hitting the ball at all when you could have cleanly won. And this happens pretty often, even at champion levels and higher. Now, there will be times where feathering your boost and slowing down in the air a bit might be necessary. Maybe you need to conserve your boost a bit, or no one's contesting you for the aerial, and you want to wait a little bit so that the ball can cross over and you can get a good angle to shoot. But scenarios like that are the exception, rather than the rule. You should be boosting from the start of your aerial, all the way to when you hit the ball, unless you have a pretty good reason not to. And this can even apply to taking aerial shots that are completely uncontested, since you'll hit the ball sooner and harder, so defenders have less time to react. To really drive this point home, let's do a direct comparison. On the left, we're going to aerial and boost from the very start of it all the way to when we hit the ball. We're also going to try to take the shortest path to the ball and still put our shot on target. On the right, we're going to aerial, and we're still going to boost from the very start, but as we get up near the ball, we're going to just kind of feather the boost a bit and float to line up our shot and let the ball come to us a little. Here we go. The car on the left has now hit the ball after about 2.5 seconds. The car on the right, however, is still pretty dang far from the ball. If someone were to hit this ball right now, the car on the right wouldn't even be able to get a touch on it due to how they aerialed. Now our car on the right has finally gotten to the ball. It took them almost half a second longer than the car on the left. A half a second is easily the difference between your shot scoring versus getting blocked. Now let's rewatch that and pay attention to the start of the aerial. Notice how the car on the right is pointed off to the side a bit more, while the car on the left is pointed more towards the ball. The ball's going to have to travel more before the car on the right can even hit it. From the very start, the car on the right has chosen a line that will make them get to the ball slower. Likely because they had planned from the start to stop boosting a little bit and float while letting the ball come towards them to line up their shot. Now that we've gone over why aerialing like this is important, I'm going to tell you how to aerial like this and how to drill it. First, you need to have a good fast aerial, and be comfortable doing it while holding boost the whole time. A fast aerial is when you use your second jump as a neutral jump and continue on your way to the ball. This gets you higher much faster than just jumping once. To do this, jump and boost at the same time, while pulling back on the stick to aim toward your line, let go of the stick briefly so you can hit jump again, and then resume making any adjustments with the stick, all while holding boost. Make sure you do actually pull back a bit before you use your second jump so that your boost is pushing you upwards. You don't want your fast aerials to look like this. If you have issues with backflipping, or you end up going too far forward because you were boosting at the start, pull back first. You don't need to hit jump, then pull the stick back, then let go of the stick to hit jump again. That makes for a very frantic movement. Instead, pull back on the stick at the same time or even before your first jump. This will make it feel like you have way more time to let go of the stick before your second jump. Once you have a bit of a grasp on those, we can start working on the entire aerial. Just grab any custom training pack with aerial shots that you like, and I'll put a couple in the description here for you, and try to aerial directly to the ball while never letting go of boost. Don't even concern yourself with shooting at first. Just aerial to the ball as fast as possible and hit it. This will just help you figure out the line you need to be taking to the ball when you're doing it like this. Once you start doing okay with hitting the ball like this, start making small changes to the line you're taking so that you can shoot the ball too, while still never letting go of boost. After you've drilled this a bit, work on putting it into your gameplay. To start, it might be best to just set a firm rule that if you aerial, you don't let go of boost. Obviously, that's not always going to be great, but setting a simple, unbending rule that you don't have to think about is a really good way to force a change into your gameplay. Let's do a quick recap. In general, when aerialing, you should do a fast aerial, boost the entire time, and take a straight line to the ball. Doing those three things will win you a ton of aerials. Now, of course, there will be times where you don't need to do all of those things, but most of the time, you should. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, be sure to hit me with a like and subscribe. And if you have any feedback, thoughts, or questions for me, leave a comment.